Tiger on the attack, mauling a zookeeper after tackling her.
The tiger is still next to them, still attacking.
Spectators watching in horror. The zoo immediately put on lockdown. Spring slam, more than a dozen reported tornadoes, flash floods wiping out roads. Our team on the ground assessing the damage following that severe weather outbreak. Also tonight, mysterious disappearance. The FBI joining in on the hunt for a missing 5-year-old boy, vanishing after he went to bed. Investigators now classifying his home a crime scene. In politics, the deep divide among Democrats running for president in wake of the Mueller report. Some ramping up impeachment pressure, others urging caution, what the president is now saying. Riots in Paris, the intensifying clashes between police and activists. Some furious that wealthy donors raised $1 billion to rebuild Notre Dame when the country is battling economic inequality. Dragged on the tracks, the elderly woman trying to catch a train, her hand caught in the door, how she survived. Also, the parents waking up to screams as their 14-month-old is snatched by a dingo, what the father did to save his son, and how that child is doing tonight.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday. I'm Tom Llamas. And we begin tonight with the breaking news, a horrifying incident at the Topeka Zoo in Kansas. A male tiger mauling a zookeeper shortly after the facility opened today as horrified zoo visitors watched. That 7-year-old big cat, you see him there, named Sanjeev, was seen here back in 2017 when he was first welcomed to the Kansas facility. Today, attacking that female zookeeper, the primary tiger handler there with many years on the job. She's been rushed to the hospital after the tiger tackled her. ABC's Maggie Rulli starts us off.
Tonight, a tiger attack at the Topeka Zoo leaves staff scrambling to save one of their own.
We have staff getting attacked by a tiger.
That frightening 911 call coming in shortly after the zoo opened at 9. Sanjeev, an endangered Sumatran tiger, and his experienced keeper together in an outdoor pen when the animal turned. The two trapped for nearly 10 agonizing minutes.
Advised staff is still in the enclosure. The tiger is still next to them, still attacking.
The exhibit, already open to visitors, put on lockdown, with the zoo's firearm response team dispatched to the scene.
Some of our guests actually witnessed this happen.
The tiger finally lured back inside, and that female zookeeper rushed to a local hospital, suffering lacerations and puncture wounds to the back of her head, neck, and arm.
Thanks to about 3 heroes on our staff, this could have been a very different outcome.
A live stream camera shows the zoo's tigers in a pen after the attack as authorities investigate why the keeper and tiger were in the enclosure at the same time.
There really isn't a circumstance where they should be in the same space. So there was some sort of error that occurred here.
For now, the zoo is standing by their animal, a fixture for years, who recently fathered 4 cubs.
Sanjeev this morning did exactly what a tiger would when something comes into its territory. And there is absolutely no consideration to euthanize Sanjeev.
And Maggie Rulli joins us now. Maggie, we just heard right there, the zoo director says they are not going to euthanize the tiger, that the tiger did nothing wrong, and making it clear there were mistakes made that led up to this accident.
That's right, Tom. The zoo made it clear that the tiger reacted exactly the way that a wild animal would react. And instead of blaming the tiger, they're now focusing their investigation on procedures that could have gone wrong at that zoo. Tom?
Maggie Rulli starting us off tonight. Maggie, thank you. Now to the latest on that severe weather that swept across the South the last 3 days. More than a dozen reported tornadoes just yesterday in 5 states. Cleanup from damaging winds underway there in Lancaster, South Carolina. And that powerful weather, look at this, on display in St. Petersburg, Florida, as huge chunks of road just disappear in Asheville, North Carolina. ABC's Zachary Keish touring that state for us tonight with the latest on the damage.
Tonight, a closer look at the damage marking the 3rd day of severe weather outbreak that spanned from Texas all the way to the mid-Atlantic. The cleanup is now underway after a deadly storm system with torrential rains and punishing winds tore through large swaths of the country. In North Carolina, heavy flooding prompting rescues like this. First responders helping stranded residents out of their flooded neighborhood. And over in Asheville, this car got stuck in the high floodwaters after more than 5 inches of rain.
Don't drown, turn around.
This is some of the worst damage we've seen. The carport that Corvette was in is nowhere to be found. And take a look at this. The top of this house was found in pieces across the street. But further south, these storms proved deadly. Near Tallahassee, a young girl was killed after powerful winds knocked a large tree onto her home. This vacationer captured the relentless storm as it rolled through near St. Pete. Then a string of dangerous tornadoes forced officials in Mississippi to declare a state of emergency, the second time in less than a week that's happened. To the north, a tornado in Northern Virginia touched down, damaging cars and homes. And when this massive tree fell in central Virginia, it left hundreds in the dark. Tom, take a look at this house. The roof taken right off. We're told that nobody was inside when this storm rolled through. 6 reported tornadoes touched down right here in North Carolina. And as you can see, the big cleanup has just begun. Tom?
Thankfully, nobody was in that home. All right, Zachary Quiche, thanks so much for that. Senior meteorologist Rob Marciano joins us now. And Rob, what's the weather going to be looking like as we go into the holiday?
We're still dealing with this storm, Tom. It's been such a slow mover, and it's so big. The entire East Coast still having to deal with it. It's winding itself out. It's kind of cut off from the main flow, but you still see some showers around Detroit getting up and through Boston as well. And that instability, especially on the East Coast, will stick around through Easter Sunday. But otherwise, it'll be nice in Atlanta as you're traveling through Kansas City. Breezy, warm conditions across parts of Dallas. Intermountain West will be a little bit rainy and showery, but quiet across California and pretty dry across the Pacific Northwest. So not too shabby for a holiday, Tom.
All right, Rob, thanks so much. We turn now to the suburbs of Chicago and a 5-year-old boy who has vanished after going to bed. Search teams brought in and the FBI is now involved. What we're learning tonight about the case. Here's ABC's Will Reeve.
Tonight, authorities on the hunt outside Chicago, saying search dogs confirm the missing 5-year-old did not leave his home on foot. That home now a crime scene. The FBI and local police have been searching for AJ Friend since he was last seen inside that residence Wednesday night. AJ's father made a plea to reporters outside their home.
AJ, please come home. We love you very much.
But he initially waved off investigators.
You come with us right now.
I'm going to go get a phone.
Okay.
Then I'm going to come back.
He's also hired a lawyer. His wife, Joanne Cunningham, retaining her own attorney.
Joanne came here today to stay, hoping that AJ would come back at any moment and walk through the house.
Now she's stopped cooperating as well.
Ms. Cunningham cooperated with the police extensively yesterday until at some point we got the impression that she may be considered a suspect.
Tom, police say they have no reason to believe that an abduction has taken place, and the family has denied any involvement in AJ's disappearance. There are reports that his father is now talking to investigators. Tom?
Our newest correspondent, Will Reeve, on a very disturbing case tonight. All right, Will, thank you. To politics now and the shockwaves following the Mueller report. Revelations Democrats sharply divided on how exactly to proceed as President Trump appears to sour on the report after his initial celebratory view. ABC White House correspondent Tara Palmieri reporting from West Palm Beach tonight, where the president is spending the holiday.
President Trump spending his Easter weekend firing up his political base, golfing with Rush Limbaugh, and unleashing on Twitter. Tweeting more than a dozen tweets, including, "The Russia hoax is dead," and then blasting special counsel Robert Mueller's team as Trump haters, saying the report was written, quote, nastily. Adding, quote, "The Mueller report should not have been authorized in the first place." It's a stark contrast from his initial reaction to the Mueller report.
I'm having a good day, too. It was called No Collusion, No Obstruction.
The president's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, telling ABC News Trump is now, quote, frustrated by what he sees as a one-sided report. While the administration is urging Democrats to move on, many are calling for more investigations. But there's a deep divide when it comes to impeachment. 2020 presidential hopeful Senator Elizabeth Warren, the most prominent voice leading the charge to impeach.
But there are some things that are bigger than politics. So I have called on the House to initiate impeachment proceedings.
But today, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's office urging caution in a statement saying that Congress should take it, quote, one step at a time. The report raises more questions and concerns that we believe the American people deserve answers to. Other presidential candidates weighing in on impeachment.
I think he may well deserve it, but my focus, since I'm not part of Congress, but I am part of 2020, is to give him a decisive defeat at the ballot box.
I think we should have a chance to ask a lot of questions and continue investigations and see where they lead.
I think it would be perfectly reasonable for Congress to open up impeachment proceedings.
And Tara Palmieri joins us now from West Palm Beach. Tara, I know you spoke with the president's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, who was telling you their new strategy in dealing with Congress will be able to fight all of the future investigations related to impeachment.
Tom, Giuliani tells me they will fight, quote, every subpoena. He says it's no longer a legal battle, but a political battle with Congress. And he claims that the president has already cooperated enough with special counsel Robert Mueller. Tom?
Tara Palmieri with that new reporting tonight. Tara, thank you. And this programming note, tomorrow and this week, a very big show. Martha Raddatz goes one-on-one with Counselor to the President Kellyanne Conway and House Intelligence Committee Chair Adam Schiff. We move overseas now to the tense clashes in Paris. New violent protests springing up for a 23rd Saturday after a period of united mourning following the disastrous fire at Notre Dame. The $1 billion in donations raised for that historic landmark intensifying activist complaints. ABC's David Wright reports from Paris.
After a week of unity and calm, Paris erupted today with a return of the angry protests that have rocked this city just about every Saturday for the past 6 months. The Gilets jaunes, or yellow vests, turned up today by the thousands. Many now say they're angry the government moved so quickly to bail out the burnt-out Notre Dame Cathedral, but officials have yet to meet their demands. They set dozens of motorcycles on fire. Emergency workers racing to put out the flames. The protesters demand the government improve their cost of living. French police in riot gear mobilized by the thousands to stop them in their tracks with tear gas and overwhelming force. Today alone, nearly 200 arrests. French President Emmanuel Macron had been scheduled to address the protesters' concerns in a primetime speech Monday. That speech abruptly canceled when the fire broke out. It's now been rescheduled for this coming Thursday. Tom?
David Wright with those new developments out of Paris. David, thank you. Next to the grim anniversary back here at home, 20 years ago today, the Columbine High School massacre. Memories seared in the nation's mind of teenagers with their hands up, barely escaping after 2 seniors launched a violent planned attack, killing 12 students and a teacher. A number of memorials and vigils this week, and many of the survivors now with children of their own. Here's ABC's Clayton Sandow.
Tonight, remembering the 12 students and 1 teacher murdered 20 years ago today at Columbine High.
On April 20th, 1999, the forces of evil did not win.
Darkness cannot win. Evil never has the last word. Death does not have the last word.
The day etched in history, when 2 students opened fire inside their school, a horror playing out on live TV.
Fellow or former students, it's believed, who rushed the schools and opened fire.
Columbine was not the first school shooting, but it marked a violent new era of deadly tragedy. Virginia Tech, Sandy Hook, Parkland, and others. An ABC News investigation found Columbine may have inspired more than 50 school attacks, plots, or threats. Just this week, police say an 18-year-old Florida high school senior who bought a shotgun, forcing more than 100 Colorado schools to shut down, had a Columbine infatuation. In 1999, Sean Graves was shot 6 times.
I need to do more physical therapy before I'll know if I'll walk.
Now he fears for his own kids.
Now that I'm a parent, I can't physically protect my daughter 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365.
At Columbine, police were criticized for not moving in faster. Today, officers are trained to confront shooters immediately.
Suspect down. The first day of class of a new school year, of a new semester, I'll walk in and I'll be like, okay, like, where are the exits? Like, where's the best place to hide? Like, if something happens.
The day also forever changing the way kids, parents, and schools think about safety.
No doubt a dark turning point for our country. And Clayton, so powerful to hear from those survivors 20 years later. And we know that at the high school, the survivors and the students have tried to make this day more than just about the tragedy.
That's right, Tom. They call it a day of service. We saw hundreds of students, teachers, and faculty picking up rakes and shovels, taking on dozens of community projects, all to do a little bit of good. And just